riches. We got robbed, now we got riches.
Episode of Rob to Riches, the podcast. Today we are here with the beautiful Miss Ashley Amber.
Hello. It's nice to be here. I'm glad that you invited me to be on here with you.
I'm glad that you're here. You came all the way from what, Cincinnati?
Girl, yeah, Cincinnati. And I drove, baby.
I know you did. You were telling me that you did. We was talking about it off camera, just about how your event that you had a few years back was the first event that I went to when I was like starting to promote my business. That was what, May 2021, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's crazy.
Now we full circle.
Yes. I know.
So now I'm back for your podcast.
Right.
I'm excited.
This
is good for you. Yes, my first podcast.
That's so dope that you could build relationships, and it's not like we talk every day, but we just always, keep
Support one
supporting
another.
each other.
Yeah.
Like if we have a question, reaching out, supporting each other's content, and just putting each other on in different ways that we can. So I think that's so dope. I'm glad that we've been able to.
For sure, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, it really is. You recently pivoted in your career too.
Yes.
Which I was like, I was so happy to see that. I was like, yes, I love this for you, because I was like, I feel like this is really your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing and what are you doing now?
Okay, so it's been quite a few things since we last seen each other.
Okay.
So when we met, I was still working my 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, I initially took off with Reels. Like I literally just started in my city, businesses create content that brought in sales.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like I never even thought of that being a business, but it just literally took off. Like everybody wanted it.
Yeah.
And then I spent a lot of time like just working on other people's business last year that I didn't have time for my own.
Mm-hmm.
What I realized is that, yeah, the money was amazing, but I didn't have time for nothing else. No time for my daughter, no time for me time, nothing. I was always on go.
Right.
So I was like, how can I pivot my business and still enjoy what I do?
Right.
So I switched to more doing classes and now I'm coming out with a course so that I can, 1, reach more people, and 2, I'm not burning myself out.
That digital
doing what
product bag is
it's different.
Flex.
It hit different.
Because you could do it one time and sell it multiple times.
Evergreen.
It's a different flex. I was saying it on another episode too, where I was like, I got Pink Print to an amazing place that I'm really happy with,
Mm-hmm.
but the expense that it put on my body, on my relationships, on my lifestyle, I literally had nothing else except for Pink Print.
Yes.
And I was like, I wouldn't wish that on
That's
anyone.
not true happiness.
It's really not.
And it's so crazy because I don't know about your background, but I know for me, I come from humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start seeing money like that,
Yeah.
you keep wanting more.
Yeah.
And so you thinking you got to keep working like that. It took for me to have an entire anxiety attack for me to realize, wait a minute, you need to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You got to slow down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that it's something that a lot of people, especially in our age bracket, have to kind of come to terms with, is that it's okay to do what you love and put your heart and soul into it, but let it make sense too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the money, your happiness, all of that plays a part.
Yeah.
It's not just money.
That's why I've been trying to really structure myself and be like, what's sustainable for me? Like
That
in
part.
real life, what is actually sustainable? Like, and I think of that in everything that I do now,
Mm-hmm.
because I worked myself to the bone so much building my company that I had to literally be like, I didn't have to stop doing it, but I had to take a serious step back. That I was like, you know what? Where can I find longevity in the way that I'm going? And I couldn't find it. And I had like gained 50 pounds and didn't have no relationships, didn't have no hobbies, was tired, drained to the bone. And I was telling somebody else, I was like, I had to literally start going to therapy because I was a workawaholic and had nothing else.
You be addicted to it.
Literally.
You literally be addicted to the work and you be addicted to the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shit is real.
Yeah, and especially like you said, when you're coming from a place where you have nothing, it's like those accolades like that you start getting start making you feel accomplished, and you start like getting that confidence.
Chasing it.
Yeah.
It's like a high. Like you always chasing it. Like
Right.
you chasing the next high, the next thing that people can be proud of you for.
Exactly.
And it's like
Exactly. And now that you saying that, the crazy thing is, like, when I was going through therapy, I never really broke it down like that to myself. But now that you saying it, like, after my friend robbed me and I had nothing, I felt so ashamed of myself that I even had let that happen. Like, I literally was like, how?
Yeah.
Like, how did you let somebody take something like that from you? Especially somebody that was that close. You know,
Right.
like, you know them enough to know how they would move or not move. And so after that, I did get addicted to, okay, I just want to kind of like make somebody feel like I'm not that person. You know,
Right.
like that embarrassment. I was trying to wash that embarrassment off.
Mhm.
And it got to a point where it was super unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like myself. I didn't
I
know
can
who I
see
was.
that. Girl, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. Mine's, it didn't necessarily come from like money or nobody stealing from me, but you know, when you get in these relationships with these men and you know, like my ex-husband, like that was like a major chapter in my life. And at the time, like when I met you, I was still hurting. You know, so he took a piece of me because when I came back home, I really had a hard time just trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted. Because for the last, you know, years prior, it was all about him. What he needed, what he wanted, what's going, you know what I mean? And so it took me a long time just to figure out what it is I need that's going to make me happy.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know.
What's up, boss ladies? Thanks for tuning into Rob to Riches podcast. If you want to learn how my guest is earning 6 to 7 figures in their business through Instagram, you need the Instagram sales blueprint. This blueprint is going to teach you how to convert your audience into dollars. Hit up my girl Ashley Amber for 20% off using the code RICHES. The link is in the description box for you to learn how to take your audience and turn them into direct sales.
Do you have
It's
a
a learning
hard time
experience.
dating now or like getting into relationships just of the fear of like losing yourself again?
Absolutely. I think
too.
that I have a guard up, and it's really hard for me to date. And then on top of that, like I'm already a very nonchalant person.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not that girl. I don't go crazy about stuff. I don't do anything. If you do something I don't like, I just probably won't answer for you no more.
Yeah.
And it just be that simple. So I don't know. Like I think it's very difficult for me because I don't communicate. And I'm trying to work on it, but it just be like, baby, I'm busy. I ain't got time to teach you how to be no man.
Yeah. It gets tiring constantly having to tell new people how to love you and how
Yeah.
to treat you properly.
Well, you know what I've learned, and I learned this from my therapist. So she said that you should not have to teach men or anybody how to love you. People most times, like, they will do what they want to do. Like, once you tell them, they should automatically just start, you know, doing those things. So if your love language is, you know, gifts or it's, you know, what's the other one? Words of affirmation, whatever it might be, that person is supposed to do that for you. And it shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of times people want to love you the way that they want to love you because this is what we all so used to doing. And it's like, I don't have time to teach you.
No, that's
I
a
don't.
fact though. It's difficult because I be like, I got 300 something mentees. You think I want to teach anymore after I get off the line?
No.
Once I get
cool.
off the line, I'll be ready to be in my bag.
Yeah,
you
in
know,
my
like in my.
zone.
Do you feel like you know they always question about like femininity in women and are they masculine? You know how they be saying stuff like that. Do you feel like being an entrepreneur, you're still able to be in your like feminine bag?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How does that look for you?
I mean, honestly, like, I am a very feminine woman anyway. Like, I love everything about being a woman. So, you know, whether it's coming to a man or me just dealing with my people, like, I feel like, you know, in a feminine way. Like, I don't feel like I have to be loud. I don't feel like I have to overtalk people. I don't feel like I need to, like, it's just certain things I don't feel like I need to do to get my point across. And I think that's taking some work, tapping into that.
Absolutely.
And I'm so mad you can't come to our next event because we actually got somebody. It's May 7th, and we got somebody talking about that.
I'm
like,
excited for y'all.
Listen,
I wish I could come. I'll be in Japan for my birthday trip. You know, every year I go on a solo trip for my birthday trip.
I'm excited. You got to tell me all about that.
Oh, I definitely will. I think with the femininity, it does take you time to learn it. Like, especially if you had a mom who was working. Like, my mom was a working mom. You know what I'm saying? She didn't. I always felt like she didn't have time to really teach us everything that we possibly could have known. Like, she definitely did a great job and the best job that she could have done. But once I started becoming an adult woman, I started realizing, like, wow, all of these other people have all these other attributes that I lack.
Yes.
You know, when you get in these spaces where you're networking and you have to be authentic, you start seeing like I have a lot of things that other people don't have and vice versa. So it's like, how do you hone into the skill set that you have so that when you are networking, you're able to really show up as yourself and have that confidence, even with the stuff that you might lack?
I mean, honestly, I just push. Like, I don't have a code for it. Like, even when I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm whatever, I'm going to push through.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out there. I'm going to talk to who I need to talk to. I'm going to, say what I need to say. That's just where I am right now. A few years ago, I couldn't say that. A few years ago, I just told you, I couldn't even speak at my own event.
Right.
Because my nerves were so bad. Like,
Right.
I just didn't have it in me. But now, you cannot pay me to go somewhere and not speak and not talk to people, not tell people who I am, what I do. Like that's, I don't know, it's just second nature now.
Yeah. It's like you gotta just, like you said, put yourself out there to do different things.
Be vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely.
Be willing to be vulnerable.
Boy.
Listen.
Ooh-wee.
Now don't get it twisted. Some people will try to take advantage of those vulnerabilities, but you have to have the know-how to recognize that.
Yeah.
And see, just going back to your friend, you trusted her so much, and this was your friend, and so that's why she was able to basically use your vulnerability against you. And you have to be able to kind of see through those things. We might not catch everything, but we live and we learn.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
Man, after that time, I literally became the person where I was like, I'm not going to be vulnerable for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I had closed up so tight, you couldn't penetrate anything. Like, this right here, I wasn't able to be outside around people for too long. I couldn't, I was just so scared for everything. Like, I just thought everybody was trying to harm me. And now to see me in the place that I am, I'm just like, wow.
I love that
like,
for you.
Like, you could really grow. And that's one thing I always be wanting people to know. Like, don't take your circumstance as the end result. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the vision. Focus on
the long
vision.
haul.
Yes.
Oh, I swear I was just talking about this with somebody. People don't understand the long game.
That part.
Everybody want the short game, the fast one. The long game is where it's at.
I'm telling you.
Ooh.
I was talking to Daisha from the Taylor Girls just earlier today, and she was saying she had an opportunity to work with Kroger, and they turned her down because of some past content that she made. And they were like, oh, no, we don't want to sponsor your event because some old stuff.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, I was like, that's why I'll be so protective over my brand now, because I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this moment right now. This is only part of what's getting me to where my real vision is.
You better speak.
This is only a step. And I already understand that. So every time I'm moving in my purpose, I'm going to always make sure that I'm doing the things and making the decisions that help me get there. But so many people are so, like you said, they're so focused on that
the right now
moment that they lose sight of what's really important. God gave you a vision.
Yep.
You got to focus on the vision. Period.
Absolutely.
And everything else around you, the people, the opportunities, like the money, it'll all
fall into place.
It'll all flow. So what, you can't pay your phone bill this month? That's part of the vision.
Listen.
That's part of the vision.
It's part of it all. Like, I swear, I would tell this to anybody, like, when you first starting out, it be hard as hell. Like, you might miss a car note, you might miss that, but the long game, you're gonna win.
Absolutely.
Like, you just have to be willing to make those sacrifices. Stop going out to dinner with your friends. Stop doing all these things that's making you spend unnecessary money. Like, when I was going through it, girl, let me tell you, I ain't get my hair done. I ain't get my nails done. I ain't go nowhere. Like, none of that. I know how to just cut everything off. Like, when I'm in grind mode, I don't do nothing. I'm going to do my hair myself. I'm going to pop some press-ons on. I will polish my own motherfucking feet. Like, it's just, you got to be willing to make sacrifices. And if you ain't willing to do that, you're going to always be stuck.
Because I feel like people will use that stuff as an excuse. Like, oh, I can't go to the event because my hair not done. Oh, I don't got my nails done, so I can't take advantage of that opportunity. Oh, I can't make it to the podcast because I got my toes done. They'll use anything as an excuse instead of as an opportunity for them to be able to be like, look, I don't care what's going on.
There's more eyes on my brand. I'm going to be there.
Hello? I don't care what I got to do.
Hey, I'm going to be there.
I'm telling you, and sometimes the funny thing is, like, if it's an opportunity and you going to do something with somebody who really fuck with you like that, you might could tell them the truth.
Facts.
That vulnerability and be like, yo, Storm, I really want to be there, but whoop-de-whoop-whoop. And I might be like, no problem, I got you. I'll get your nails done for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure you're straight. Just come. Just be outside. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But people, like you said, they don't have that vulnerability to be like, nothing's going to stop me.
But
to be able to take advantage.
It's also that it's pride. You know, we live in an age, again, we live in that time where everybody rich, everybody got this, everybody got that. So for somebody to have to come and be like, I don't have it.
It's the real.
I don't have it. Like, that take a lot. It take a lot to say that. Hell, I don't like saying that.
Yeah.
But it's just the real. It's people who not in the entrepreneurship space, they definitely don't get it. Because they think, oh, I be seeing you work with all these people.
Right.
Like, baby, I got to reinvest.
Right.
I got to reinvest back into the brand. Like,
That part. My money always tied up.
it's like, no, I can't do that right now.
That part.
So.
I definitely be feeling that for sure too. Like when it comes to just being vulnerable and reinvesting into your business, it'll always be hard. It's never an easy choice. And I feel like people be paying themselves too quick out their business money. Like I hear new entrepreneurs be like, okay, so how do I pay myself? I'm like, you're not making enough to pay yourself. Honest to God. I be like, really like, okay, if you're not seeing, 5-figure months consistently, you really should not be at the point where you're paying yourself. And then I'll ask people like, how much does it take for your life? They be like, $10,000. $10,000? It takes you $10,000 a month to live your life?
No.
My life literally cost me $3,000 or under. So where is the $10,000 coming from?
Yeah, I don't know. They live in a high life.
I'm like, you're rich. I'm like, tell me how to get it. 'Cause I don't got it like
weak.
that. But new entrepreneurs, it's like when it comes to the money, they do have this idea.
The more you make, the more you spend. I feel like that's what it is. And I was there. When I first, let me tell you, them first couple times I made $10K in 1 month, I was blowing that shit.
Right.
Like, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand. Then I hit that month where I only made $3,000.
Hello.
Oh, I learned my lesson quick.
And it happens.
I learned my lesson real quick. You gotta be able to balance that money so when it's slow times, you still good.
Yeah.
You can't blow everything that come through.
You have to. You have to set yourself up for success by having a financial plan. And like we said, that just goes back to the full vision instead of the right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me, I'm looking in the trash for it's paper towel in the trash. I'm like, who threw this paper towel away?
Wait a minute. You know what I thought of. I'm sorry to cut you off.
What's the show?
You know what I'm about to say?
Yes, that's me. No, ma'am. I'm the one I'm still cutting the back off the toothpaste. I'm using all my toothpaste.
I'm dead. All right, I ain't that far with it. But
no, I'm still using all my toothpaste. It don't matter where I get in life. And, I honestly feel like I was blessed to kind of grow up through the struggle because, to be honest with you, I feel like the struggle really gave me a lot of skills.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of survival skills.
That's why we think the way we think.
You don't need a lot. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot, and you know how to get it no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, I love those skill sets that I got from the struggle.
Listen, think about this. You know those like men, you remember 2008 when the market fell. Guess who all was, I don't want to say, but you know who all was doing suicide, committing suicides. People who never not had nothing. People who been broke before, we know how to bounce back. We gonna figure it out. Like, we got the mindset to just go get it by any means. So it's like, I'm glad I came up having to figure that shit out.
Absolutely.
So,
it gives you creativity and tenacity to be able to use to do anything that you want in your life. And I tell new entrepreneurs, like, because, I do funding. So it's like, they all be like, I need $50K to start my business. I be like, you really don't.
No.
I'm like, you can honestly get $500 and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, $500, I've paid some people, $300 to just go live with them. I get on the live and make $1,000. You got to know how to sell. You got to know how to, converse. You have to know other skills other than just get $50,000. Because what you going to do with it?
Blow it.
And I already be knowing that. That's why I be like, no, if you come to me and tell me I need $50K to start my business, and I'll be like, okay, you got a pitch deck, you got a business plan, you be like, no, I need to find someone to do that. I'm like, okay, you don't know how much you need.
throwing a number
estimating.
out there.
Exactly. Because I'd be like, shoot, I still take $2,000 in funding and make it shake if I, you know what I'm saying? If I want to, I'd be like, shoot, I take that 2,000 and go get me 8.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
gotta know what to
did.
do with money.
That's exactly what I did. I
How-
did the Shopify.
Period.
I did the Shopify joint.
Shopify Capital. Shout out to
Yeah.
Shopify. We need a sponsor.
Facts. Shout out to Shopify. I absolutely love Shopify.
That part.
Like, let me tell you, my sister, she been trying to get me to leave them. I'm like, no. They
Shopify
are
has
golden for entrepreneurs.
They got grants. They got accelerator programs. They have funding. Well, this
Literally
ain't an ad for
everything you
Shopify, but
need.
They got everything you need. If you're a new entrepreneur, you should look at Shopify. I ain't gonna hold you.
You might as well go ahead and tag them to the post now. Tag them to the. Go ahead and tag them to the video.
Right. I was trying to tell you, you need to get those sponsorship opportunities. I love that for you. I love everything that you're doing right now, and it's crazy just to see you pivot and see it in real time and be like, dang, I remember when. You know, it's just beautiful to see people's growth because then you could never hate on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could never be like, dang, why they doing this or why they doing that? You can only be like, that's respect. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I
Yes.
know for a fact they done tried it, they done been through it, and they constantly pushing themselves to that next level.
For sure. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's been a long road for sure.
I already know it. What would you tell new entrepreneurs that are thinking about switching careers and getting into a new place?
Do it. Like, one thing I've learned is that you cannot be afraid to pivot or change lanes. And this is something that I talk about kind of regularly just because I feel like so many people stay in things that they don't even love anymore because of what people going to say. Because they not sure how it's going to go.
Right.
Or, you know, they just scared. And it's like, you got to move through that.
Absolutely.
Like, just change. I done
really
had
do.
like 7 different careers as an adult to get where I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of
Yeah.
those things led me to where I'm at now,
Say
though.
that word.
So it's like, I don't know. You be thinking that it feels like you all over the place. People think you all over the place, but God really just
He
laying out
working you out.
He working out the map for you. He making
Preparation.
sure that you are prepared for when you get to where He needs you to be.
Right. He like, okay, I need you to go through that because you're going to need that. I need you to go through this because you're going to need this over there for this over there. And it's like that pain really do be preparation.
Yeah.
But people don't want to go through the pain. And it's like if you don't go through it, you're not going to be prepared when you get to it. So that's why you never get into it. Until you really go through the full process, you're never going to get to that moment.
Absolutely.
'Cause
The
you learning
losses
from
are a
it.
part of the win.
What do you feel like has been the cherry on top of your career so far? Like since pivoting and getting into your new bag?
Honestly, what me and Mama are doing together, like that's something I always love doing. You know, just bringing women together, and you know that first event that you came to.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That was dope. That was dope.
girl, we literally put that together in like a few months.
You had told me later.
Yeah, like I literally I got home in December 2020, and I had told Cece, I said, I want to have an event. I love what y'all doing up here. Like, you know, I was in Louisiana. Like, nobody was doing all the stuff they was doing at home. Like, everybody got businesses. Everybody doing well. I'm like, damn, like, I need everybody in a room together.
Yeah.
And she was like, let's do it. And it just, I don't know. Like, and once I got that first taste of it, I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I took a break from that for a while just so I was focused on my business. And then we just brought it back last year. Me and Mama, we had our first link up, I think it was October. And we started out with 13 girls that came out. And this most recent one, we got 200 people RSVP'd already. And people are still inboxing us like, how can they willing to help out with the event just so they can be there. Just to be there. I love that. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to figure out ways to get them in there.
Yeah.
You know, me and her both. Because, you know, I wish we could go somewhere bigger. But it's like, you know, we already locked in with these folks.
Man, that's a beautiful thing to just see that growth in yourself and do that reflection and be like, dang, we started with 13 people. Because everybody want to start with the 200. And it don't work like that. Like when I first went on the bankroll tour, there was some cities I had 2 people in a room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I run the bankroll tour back, I guarantee you it's going to be up a new level.
Facts.
But you got to take the steps. You got to, you know, go up those steps. So I think that's just so dope. I be so inspired about hearing stuff like that. Because I be like, I remember when we was getting 1 order a day, so now it's 100 orders an hour. You know what I'm saying? And people just be so discouraged, like, oh, I'm not getting that many sales, or I'm not getting people to sign up. It's coming.
And I think,
Keep
too,
going.
like people think, they really think that it's all about selling. It's more
Right.
to selling than you just saying, here's my product or
this.
buy this.
Right.
It's more to it than that. Like,
Yeah.
especially nowadays, like you really gotta build relationships. Like
Absolutely.
y'all don't want to get online. Y'all talking about y'all don't want people in y'all business, but you don't want no money then. You don't want no money then. That's just the bottom line of it.
Right.
Like we in a period where people want to know the person behind the brand.
Mhm.
They want to know who you are. Can I trust you with my money?
That
Is you
part.
gonna really send me my stuff?
Right.
Like,
The
can
scam
I?
culture out here is crazy. We were just talking about that. That's why Instagram is good at people getting verified because the scam culture is so crazy.
But what's so funny is, I'll give you my thoughts on that. Once everybody gets it, it's not gonna be worth anything.
It's not.
Like right now, it's the thing. It's a talk of the town. But once everybody gets it, it's not gonna be really worth anything. These hackers are gonna figure out a way to get around that too.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It definitely is. Gonna happen.
They will, unfortunately. But it's up to you too. Like, you gotta think smart. Like, I just feel like a lot of times, like, especially people who still getting got with turning $500 into 5,000. Like, come on now.
That's ridiculous.
Like,
That's another thing I tell entrepreneurs too is don't get to the place in your business where you become desperate.
yep. Because
Like,
then you just start doing anything.
Desperation is the key to destruction. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like, and this is why we trying to say don't get attached to trying to get the money. Get attached to trying to build something.
The journey.
Yeah.
You got to be in love with the journey. If
You
you're
really
just
do.
in love with the end goal, you're never going to be happy.
Never, because you're gonna start being desperate for it. And to be honest, it changes. The end goal is it changes. It varies a little bit because even now with the recession coming, I'm re-strategizing how I'm gonna do my marketing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. The stuff was working when everybody had stimulus checks. Ain't gonna work when everybody penny pinching.
You got to work a little harder.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool. What do we need to do in our brand to build more trust, to build that community even stronger, to build more loyalty, to add more value to what we're already giving to our people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about that too. Even as a brand that's being more stable, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm re-strategizing.
And that's really where it's at. Like, really getting people to understand the benefits and the value of what you have.
Absolutely.
Once they understand the benefit, how it's going to get them from A to Z, how it's going to help them in their lives,
Right.
they're going to be listening.
Hello.
Once they understand that this is for me, she talking to me, that's when they're going to be ready to pull out their card.
Absolutely.
If it's something they really want and they feel like it's really going to help them, they're going to figure out how to get that money.
Every time.
So it's like,
so you gotta put it in as
you
value.
gotta exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta put it in their head how valuable what you have is.
And then
why
you gotta
they
have
need
a good product.
Exactly,
some
that
people
part.
will make you feel like it's valuable, but then when you get it, you be like, what the hell?
Yep.
So
And
having a good product and knowing how to make sure people know that it's gonna help them change their lives.
Yep. Like, we should know who you are. We should understand your brand and what you do. Like, if I come on your page or anywhere, your website, and I'm confused, that's a
Yep.
problem.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I don't know. I think that a lot of people, they kind of struggle with that part of it just because they are still in 2010 when you could just post a picture and sell out of stuff.
Right.
And it's like they haven't, what's the word I'm looking for? They haven't grown with Instagram. They're still just kind of stuck. And it's like, you're going to lose.
You're gonna lose.
You're going to
You gotta
lose. I'm
revamp.
sorry.
You gotta revamp. I'm glad we got to have this conversation today.
Yes,
this was
girl.
A good talk, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs gonna be like, that was value.
For sure, for sure.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, y'all can find me on Instagram at It's Ashley Amber. It's literally ITS Ashley Amber. And I'm also on Facebook and TikTok under the same name. And I'll be on YouTube soon too under the same name. So definitely check me out. And if you are interested in taking your brand to the next level and learning how to sell on Instagram, I have a course just for you. So definitely feel free to DM me or anything like that if you have any questions.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rob to Riches.